following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Depends how it goes. But we'll just do the read. So, this is on the night. You've sold tickets. Who from the DMV is showing up because members of your group are being bullied into doing this?
Derek is there.
Derek is there.
Bonnie was there.
Bonnie is there.
Roxanne would be there.
Okay.
Alvin's in the play.
Which means Dex and Dexy have to be there. Now, I am going to leave whether or not Stephanie and Lexian will be there because this might be set when they are not out of hospital yet.
Yeah.
For reference, they got... What's the technical... Big fucked up yo in the last mission.
Okay.
They went into an alternate reality where Johnny's kinetic manipulation power caused him to reverberate, so he had to leave. Stephanie got hit with negative energy, which is her kryptonite, and so he had to rush her back to base, but he burnt himself out doing it, so he's like
recovering.
Living dead in a Bacta tank.
Both of them are, pretty much.
Both of them are.
I think Anne was playing, like, a guard or something. So
yeah, I'll put something in for it. So,
Jen has to be here.
Here is the play of Conan the Barbarian. Please forgive me, I tried to make it as close to the movie as possible. I also used some of the ideas from Oliver Stone's first draft for the... Did you know Oliver Stone wrote the first draft of this fucking movie?
Fuck.
And we begin. So, Shannon, your parts for Sue as Mako don't have a distinction for narrator in it, so I'm hoping you're clued up enough. So, the play opens in darkness. The narrator, Mako, speaks to the audience.
Between that time when the oceans drank Atlantis and the rise of the sons of Arius, there was an age undreamed of. Unto this Conan, destined to wear the jeweled crown of Aquilonia upon a troubled brow. It is I, his chronicler, who alone can tell thee of his saga. Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
This is where the musical section that they have cobbled together, which is basically just a bunch of people who didn't want to be in the play but are being forced to because they're afraid of their gym teacher might do something to them.
Which you will.
Start singing the classic Conan theme, which of course is Conan, the adventurer, Conan, warrior without fear. He is more powerful than any man. His legend spreads across the land and sea.
Conan, the mightiest warrior ever. His quest to undo the spell of living stone cast upon his family by driving the evil serpent men back into another dimension and vanquishing their leader, the cruel wizard Raphamon.
This is why Alvin got the cartoon.
Scene. Young lad Conan sits with his father, sit in the rocks and snow. Father is holding the finished father sword, which was constructed during this stirring opening. He instructs Conan thusly. This is HOTROD wearing a ridiculous fake beard from like a Moses play or something. Trying not to look like HOTROD.
Fire and wind come from the sky, from the gods of the sky, but Crom is your god. Crom lives in the earth.
I should point out that young Conan is being played by the running back in your football team because no one else would do it.
Once giants lived in the earth, Conan, and in the darkness of chaos. They fooled Crom and took from him the enigma of steel. Crom was angered, and the earth shook. Fire and wind struck down the giants, and threw their bodies in the water. But in their rage, the gods forgot the secret of steel, and left it on the battlefield. And we who found it are just men, not gods, not giants, just men. The secret of steel has always carried with it a mystery. You must learn it, little Conan. You must learn its discipline. For no one in this world can you trust. Not men, not women, not beasts. This you can trust.
Suddenly, the Riders of Doom attack. The Raiders fight villagers and kill them. It's a big scene of like the football kids are mainly the Riders of Doom and the nerd kids are mainly the villagers. Who was Rixor? I can't remember.
Rixor is shit.
Okay, Rixor pointing to Conan, father, you're the kill that one! And then completely off script, he then points at a nerd. He's like, kill the wedgie that one and take his fud money. The nerd villager in genuine surprise because he's not in the script. Like, what? And a bunch of footballers run over and wedgie him and like steal his money, leaving him crying on the floor of the stage. The crowd laugh because others' suffering is funny. Father is killed by Rixor. Take that, thou bastard that thou art! Ah! I am Conan. Mother stands before the three main villains, holding the father sword, protecting Conan. Rexor is about to ride her down, and then Thulsa Doom removes his helmet. Thulsa Doom is played by Alvin, who looks a bit like... I don't know, are you trying to look like...
He will be copying...
he looks exactly like James Earl Jones. He is a morphic character. Now he removes his helmet. He dismounts. His stillness washes over the audience with the power of his acting classes that he's been taking. He never blinks.
Brave to stand before me with such fire in the gold. Your spirit is nailed to your spine.
Thorgrim, speaking to Rexor, see now how Thulsa Doom, our master, wields his true power, his mind, to dominate the will of this barbarian. Truly, his fen is mightier than the sword! True 'tis, were it not that we were paid solely in bags of snakes. Sleep! Thulsa Doom hypnotizes her with his eyes and makes her drop the sword, which he catches and cuts her down in one sweeping motion. He then admires the father's sword. He moves upstage to address the audience in soliloquy.
This blade, the riddle of steel, superior to any other. I take that strength for mine. These barbarians look to the earth for its strength, and it is taken from them. This is true strength, the strength of will, my will. Their strength now at my will as it should be. A spotlight isolates him as he holds up the sword.
And then goes back to your suitcase.
The ashes were trampled into the earth, and the blood became as snow, for who knows what they came for, weapons of steel or murder. It was never known, for their leader rode to the south, while children went north with the Vanir. The children of the village are led off as slaves. They proceed across the stage, left to right twice, suffering and being taunted. Transition between young Conan and adult Conan is made as they operate a grinding mill. But exchange is made in front of the stage, and the wheel wearer is obviously, instead of cleverly hidden behind the wheel itself. No one would ever know that my lord's people had lived at all. His was a tale of sorrow.
Conan grows up as a slave, transitioning through several different actors, all of which are hilariously inappropriate. He then becomes a gladiator. There are scenes of him fighting and winning, and they're obviously like child stage acting things. At this point, he's this guy. Hot Rod Hardridge, big footballer.
He did not care anymore. Life and death, the same. Only that the crowd would be there to greet him. With howls of lust and fury, he began to realize his sense of worth. He mattered. In time, his victories could not easily be counted.
Conan is now made to study swordwork under a master, and study scrolls and books.
Cursed book.
He was taken to the east, a great prize, where the war masters would teach him the deepest secrets. Language and writing were made available. The poetry of, I do not know this word, Kitai? The philosophy of Sung, and he also came to know the pleasures of women. When he was bred to the finest stock, but always there remained the discipline of steel.
Campfire with many generals sitting around it. One of them is doing shadow puppets against the backdrop. Conan is here, behind the centermost of the horseshoe of seated men. My fear is that my sons will never understand me! We won again! This is good, but what is best in life? The open steppe! Fleet horses, falcons at your wrist, and the wind in your hair. Wrong! Conan! What is best in life? The seated men at the center slide apart to reveal Conan, now an adult and full swole.
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
That is good. The men break up and go to their tents. Later that night, the Vanir Taskmaster releases Conan. Go! Go! You're free! Go now! Conan runs across the tundra, his hands still bearing shackles.
It has been surmised that perhaps my lord was like a wild animal that had been kept too long, perhaps. But whatever freedom, so long an unremembered dream, was his.
I should point out that HOTROD is therefore having to run back and forwards across the stage like a tit in one of those smoke-free performance arts thing, while Nerdling is hoping to not be noticed at just moving bits of scenery around to squeak noises. Conan comes across an ancient burial mound within a crowned skeleton on a throne, which is a spirit Halloween prop of a skeleton on a papier-mâché chair. Its hands upon the Atlantean sword, also known as a foam prop that we got from Spirit Halloween. Conan takes it and cleans the dust off, revealing steel, also known as foam rubber. Oh, look, Brendan, look what I have here. This is the Atlantean sword, bro. So if you roll, just hold on to that for a moment. You don't get to keep it. You've given away bigger. Conan cleans the dust off, revealing steel. He breaks his shackles with it, also known as hitting the prop and then sort of just wiggling it apart so the tape gives way. Then he strikes the head off the crowned skeleton, damaging the Spirit Halloween prop.
Crom!
He misreads. Conan later comes across a campfire. It burns blue when a woman throws something on it. This startles him.
Oh no, I see.
It's highlighted, dude.
No, it just says Chrome again.
I know, that's your line.
Chrome.
Here we go. The witch seems surprised and turns to Conan. Fuck, it was the witch. I have a feeling it was Layla, wasn't it?
I think she was like princess.
Okay, it's Anne now. Anne is the witch.
Because of course
I'm
she
the
is.
thief and the princess.
There's warmth and fire! Do you not wish to warm yourself in my fire? By my fire! They said you would come from the north, a man of great strength, a conqueror, a man who would someday be king by his own hand, who would crush the snakes of the earth.
Snakes. Did you say snakes?
What is it you seek?
Snakes! Fucking snakes! I said it twice, you deaf bitch!
No, specifically.
Standard. A symbol, perhaps on a shield. Two snakes coming together, facing each other.
But they're one?
With a sun and a moon below.
Black sun? Black moon?
Yes.
Never heard of it.
What?
There is a price, Barbabian. Zamora. the crossroads of the world, you will find what you want. It's a war! She lunges at Conan, trying to eat him. They fight.
Crom!
Conan later comes across a man in a cage. It is Sabotai the thief. He is wearing a thief's Bandora fedora.
Food. I have not eaten for days.
And who says you will?
Give me food so that I have strength. When the wolves come, we die not in hunger, but in combat.
Who are you?
I am Sabotai, thief and archer. I am Hyperanian, a great order of Kurlate.
Why are you here?
Dinner for wolves.
Conan laughs
Ha-ha!
and frees the man. They settle down to share food in good humor. They exchange pleasantries about the quality of the food in the camp for the night.
What gods do you pray to?
I pray to the four winds. And you?
To Crom, but I seldom pray to him. He does not listen.
What good is he then? It's just as I've always said.
He is strong. If I die, I have to go before him, and he will ask, "What's the riddle of steel?" If I don't know it, he will cast me away. That's Crom, strong on his mountain.
My God is greater.
Crom laughs from his mountain at your four winds.
My God is stronger. He is the everlasting sky. Crom lives underneath it.
Together they travel off, arriving at the next scene. A trade city with a great tower, which of course means that some students drew it on a bit of cardboard and wheeled it onto sets. So it probably looks like absolute butt. They are in conversation as they enter the scene.
How about two snakes coming together over a black sun?
A magnificent standard. The only ones I know are sets. And those cursed towers. They spread to every city. 2 years ago, it was a snake coat. Now everywhere. They are deceivers. They murder people in the night. I know nothing.
A peddler accosts them after having missed his cue and then rushing in really panicked. The Black Lotus, stingy and the best!
Better not be Haga.
I would sell Haga to a slayer. Pittance to protect yourself from evil.
I am evil.
They're at the base of the snake tower at night. You know, it's another bad set. Sabotai looks at Conan up and down, grimacing in disgust.
You're too big to be a thief. Come, let's leave this place.
Valeria, a female thief with a rope slung over her shoulder, approaches them from behind.
Looking for snakes? They live in the Tower of the Serpent.
Oh, this is too perfect.
Said to have riches without end, and the greatest jewel of all, the Eye of the Serpent.
Conan, lie,
Conan!
You are not a guard.
Neither are you.
We're thieves, like yourself. Come to climb the tower.
You don't even have a rope. Two fools who laugh at death. Do you know what horrors lie beyond that wall?
Conan, grinning like an idiot.
No.
Then you go first.
Atop the tower, which is actually just an empty stage, they look into the Temple of Set,
What could smell so bad?
indicating priestess.
Do you want to live forever? That one is the High Priest, second only to Thos's Doom.
They attack the priests and loot the Temple of Set. Conan fights a giant snake, which is just Alvin. They take the High Priest's amulet and rob the temple. It gets excessive. The crowd responds with, like, "Thought there were tits in Conan!" Darkness.
All manner of pleasures and diversions were indulged. Wealth can be wonderful, but you know, success can test one's mettle as surely as the strongest adversary.
They drink and party in a tavern. Conan gives an especially large gem to Valeria. It is implied they have become close, but not too strongly implied. Guards come and arrest Conan and Valeria while they are drunk. They awaken in the hall of King Osric, which is just a blue curtain with a tacky throne. It might just be a chair from outside the principal's office that we wrapped tinfoil around and painted vaguely yellow.
They were taken to the
Hang on, I'm not done. They awaken in the hall of King Osric, a wealthy king with a bejeweled gold fedora.
They were taken to the hall of King Osric, the usurper, once a powerful Northman, like my lord, but now old and sotted.
The thieves you requested, says Anne in a different hat.
I thought there were 3.
Our companion died in the gardens.
Lions ate him.
Lions ate him?
The lions ate him.
You know what you've done? Rexel himself has come before me. Threatened me, the king. What daring, what outrageousness, what insolence, what arrogance. I salute you. Those who doom I've chafed for years. At this demigod, snakes in my beautiful city. To the west, Numidia, Aquilonia. To the south, Koth, Stygia. Snakes everywhere, these evil towers. You alone have stood up to their gods. And what are you? Thieves? You see this?
He produces a dagger which looks like 2 twisted snakes and moves up stage again to the audience.
They call it the fangs of the serpent, and this one was thrust into my father's heart by his very son, and my own daughter has fallen under this Thulsa Doom spell. Is there a dagger such as this in her hand for me? She follows him as a slave, seeking for the truth of her soul, as if I couldn't give it to her. As we speak, my daughter travels east to Thulsa Doom and his mountain of power. She is to be his!
He turns back to them and returns to his throne, gesturing to a servant who is Anne in a different hat, who brings a chest heaped with golden gems. He picks up a double handful and thrusts it at the pair.
Steal my daughter back!
He moves back to the audience.
Take all you can carry. There's more, there's much more. Enough to become kings yourselves. But there comes a time, thief, when the jewels cease to sparkle, when the gold loses its luster, when the filled room makes me change pages, becomes a prison, and all that is left is a father's love for his child. To hell with Thulsa Doom. He's evil, a sorcerer who can summon demons. His followers' only purpose is to die in his service. Thousands of them. This mountain of power where he lives is said to be impregnable.
Darkness. A tavern interior. The 3 thieves sit at a table, the gold between them.
I've talked to Subutai, and he agrees. Let's take what we have while we live. I've never had so much as now. All my life I've been alone. Many times I've faced my death with no one to know. I would look into tents of others in the dark, and I would see figures holding each other, but I always pass by. You and I, we have warmth. That's all. That's so hard to find in this world. Please, let someone else pass by in the night. Let's take the world by the throat and get what we deserve.
She shakes hands with Conan.
Chrome.
Conan leaves, set on his vengeance, and later arrives at a strange tent, where Mako sits by an unlit fire.
The children of Doom. Doom's children.
Sue is made up to be a little bent-off Chinese man in robes.
They told my lord the way to the mountains of power. They told him to throw down his sword and return to the earth. And time enough for the earth and the grave. Once, great men lived here. Giants, gods, once, but long ago. It was here that I met my master. It was no accident. Nor is it mere chance that I am the teller of his tale.
To Conan.
Hey, I'm a wizard, mind you. This place is kept by powerful gods and spirits of kings. Harm my flesh and you will have to kill the dead.
Can you summon demon?
Yes, I strike at you. I summon demons more ferocious than all in hell. Mounds have been here since the time of the Titans. Kings buried in them, great kings. Domains once glittered like the light on the windy sea. Fire won't burn there, no fire at all. That's why I live down here, in the wind.
You care for these places.
I sing to them, on nights when they wish. I sing of the tales of battles, heroes, witches and women. Nobody bothers me down here. Not even Thulsa Doom.
Do flowers grow here?
Flowers?
Flowers.
You're not a pilgrim, are you?
No.
Warrior, what are the flowers for?
For a girl.
Conan arrives at Thulsa Doom's temple, by which we mean a really badly painted mountainous backdrop. He carries flowers and wanders through the assembled pilgrims, by which I mean a bunch of underclassmen dressed up in dressing gowns. A priest approaches. The priest is Jennifer. No, it isn't. The priest is a... who's that? The big dumb guy in your football team? Was it Jimmy?
Jimmy, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy.
Where are you going, brother?
I'm afraid.
Afraid to bear yourself? Why? You're so big and well grown. You should be proud of your body. Afraid to bear yourself? Why? You're so big and well grown. You should be proud of your body. How can you reach emptiness without knowing your own beneath?
Could we talk over there where the others cannot see?
I forgot about that. The priest smiling with homosexual urges. Why, yes, brother, of course.
I'm afraid and I'm shy. Is this your robe? Your priest's robe?
Afraid to bear yourself? Why?
It's all I have.
Oh, I mean, yes, it's all I have.
Good.
Why?
Good.
Conan clubs the priest,
And
who,
he pets him.
after about 3 or 4 of this, gets, "All right, I fall down now." Conan, disguised as a priest, basically wearing the bathrobe of a much larger guy, ruining the robes he took from a priest, bathrobe, occasionally revealing himself to the audience with a surreptitious wink and hush gesture, like this. And the symbol they stole from the temple, he's also wearing that. He joins the masses and moves closer to Thulsa Doom as the sermon goes on.
What do you see?
The assembled everybody, Infinity!
Good. I see you. I have watched you. For 1,000 years I have watched you. Who among you still fears death? Who will not face emptiness?
Conan is very close when one of the other priests seizes upon his holy symbol and denounces him. Denounce Shim. Oh, fuck you! You write a play! Conan is overcome by masses of people. Crowd. Infidel! 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 Why? Conan is tied up and weak from hunger in the next scene. And thirst. Thulsa Doom approaches him, dressed in sturdy but fine clothes.
I wish to speak to you now. Where is the Eye of the Serpent? Rexor says that you gave it to a girl, probably for a mere night's pleasure. What a loss. People have no grasp of what they do. You broke into my house, stole my property, murdered my servants and my pets, and that is what grieves me the most. You killed my snake. Snake that I was. Thorgrim is beside himself with grief. He raised that snake from the time it was born.
That was my favorite snake. Oh, yeah.
You killed my mother. You killed my father. You killed my people who took my father's sword!
That must have been when I was younger. There was a time, boy, when I searched for steel.
To steal.
When steel meant more to me than gold or jewels. The riddle of steel. Yes, you know what it is. Don't you, boy? Shall I tell you? It's the least I can do. Steel isn't strong, boy. Flesh is stronger. Look around you. There on the rocks, that beautiful girl. Come to me, my child.
He gestures to a young lady who is being played by Jennifer, who is on top of a ladder badly concealed behind a big cardboard backdrop thing. She throws herself down off onto the bare stage below with a sickening crunch. The character dies, the girl's fine. Well, I mean, I think her nose is broken, but we'll see.
That is strength, boy. That is power. The strength and power of flesh. What is steel compared to the hand that wields it? The strength of your body, the desires in your heart. I gave you this. Such a waste. Contemplate this on the tree of woe.
He turns to
Crucify
Fulgrim.
him.
Sorry, I stepped over you.
Turns to Fulgrim. Crucify him.
Alright! Conan is dying upon the tree of woe. By which we mean it's some gym equipment that they've put leaves on. A vulture, or hand puppet, being held by someone wearing jeans and a Led Zeppelin t-shirt, because he wasn't going to wear your fucking stage shit, man. Begins to eat him. But instead he eats it, he bites it on the neck and consumes it. Finally, Valeria and Subotai arrive.
Of loyalty to my fast friend, I come to lend aid. Should his folly lead to doom?
And so it did, the wizard and that fate. Look now, so he hangs upon the tree of woe.
Let us be about our work here.
They free Conan. That night, they arrive back at Mako's tent, which is actually just a neoprene tent on the middle of the stage. I forgot to mention that. Conan seems to be dead.
You said you were a wizard.
I still am.
Do the gods owe you any favours?
There are dangers, but I see you care little for them. The spirits here ask a heavy toll.
Then I will pay them.
Mako prepares a cup of magic liquid, also known as Gatorade, and thrusts it at her.
Drink. Sometime soon, perhaps tonight, they'll try to take him.
And if they succeed? If they succeed, you'll follow?
Ah, that's supposed to be Mako's line, I didn't split it. Look, you try to run off. Mako mutters magic words.
Abracadabra.
There we go.
Fizzy-bop.
And prepares Conan for the ritual, which involves a lot of face painting. There might be a malicious mustache, I'll leave that up to you. Finally, spirits come, and by spirits, I mean a bunch of students with dance pretensions, mostly the goth kids, wearing those little party glow things that you come dancing in like fruits. And they try to carry him off. Valeria fights them off, perhaps a little more effectively than she should, and holds Conan down.
No, stop.
They're gone. They're gone.
They're gone.
Oh,
Why?
they're gone.
That's really nice. Thanks.
What the ever-loving fuck?
Bitch, are you for real?
I swear I should just unplug the fucking thing.
She's been really bad today.
Women, am I right? I didn't see that door.
You're right,
shut.
you're right.
You just don't know how to handle it.
No, I clearly fucking don't. I've never disputed this. That's why I play one on the internet. Yeah, they're surrounded and isolated by a spotlight. Valeria to Conan.
all the gods, they cannot sever us. If I were dead and you still fighting for life, I'd come back from the pit of hell to fight at your side.
They sit around the unlit fire, eat, and discuss their plans.
The old man says the mountain of power is hollow. Thulsa Doom is in the mountain.
What else does he say?
Then in the back of the mountain, there's a gorge, many caves. A thief could get in. There, steal the princess, and be off before she's missed.
So we go around the back end and steal inside the crack in his rear. HOTROD collects himself briefly after saying this line.
And I can't start because he's laughing. I can't. Good thieves could do that, but not vengeful ones. Only the girl. We kill Thulsa Doom another day. Agreed, Conan?
Conan nods reluctantly. Reluctantly.